So let's consider that there's two guys, Mike and Paul. Mike just asked this girl out at work a few days ago, who he's known for months. He developed a relationship with her in terms of friendship, a strong friendship with her. He really liked her. He was treating her as just a friend the whole time. And then when he asked her out a few days ago, she absolutely dumped him. His heart was broken. He was depressed. He wasn't getting any sleep. He wasn't eating any food. He wasn't going to the gym. Everything was just going down in his life. And he felt so hopeless and defeated and just broken as a whole. He thought that had he developed a strong friendship with this woman, that this woman would actually really like him and start seeing how nice he is, and therefore start trusting him, and therefore giving him a shot at being her boyfriend. On the other hand, there's Paul. Paul just met a girl yesterday at a mall when he was shopping. He met her spontaneously. He asked for her number after they talked for a few minutes. After they talked for a few minutes, he got her number and he was excited. When he went back home, he tried to call her that very night and tried to set up a date with her, but instead, she rejected him politely by saying, "I really think you're a really great guy, but I just don't see you as more than just a friend. However, I'd love it if we could be just friends." Paul was a bit disappointed at this because he really liked her, but instead, Paul, because he knew he could attract other women, he didn't agonize about it for such a long time. He agonized about it for maybe a couple hours, one day max, and then he got back on track. He continued doing his thing, working on his business, going to the gym, and he understood that inevitably he will attract a high quality woman, just like the one he met at the mall, if not better, because he is a man of high value. You see, guys, that's the difference, and that is the lesson for today. How men of high value deal with rejection. The difference between the first guy and the second guy is the first guy has such a limited and scarcity mindset, and he thinks that this girl right here at work, who he developed a strong friendship for, he thinks in such a delusional way that by spending that much time with her and treating her as just a friend, she is going to like him. And once she says no to him, because of his naivety and because of the fact that he doesn't understand how women operate, he gets defeated and he gets devastated and he's just crushed for days, weeks, months, sometimes even years in extreme cases. However, a guy like Paul, the second guy, he understands that he is a man of high value. He understands he is high on the SMV scale, which is the sexual market value. He understands that he brings a lot to the table. He understands that many women would find him attractive. He understands that many women are already after him, trying to get him to commit to them. So you see, man, high value men understand the fact that rejection is just part of the life. It's part of the process. It's part of the process of success. It's part of the process of finding yourself. It's just part of the process of life. So men of high value don't take rejection personally. Instead, they take it as a stepping stone to success, and they take it as a way to start reassessing and readjusting. And also, they understand that it is not personal. Nothing in life is personal. That's how the high value man thinks. He knows that there are over 3.5 billion women on the planet. And the way he carries himself is he thinks that every single woman is interested in him. Even though he knows that this is not the case, absolutely not the case, he carries himself with the mentality of course this woman likes me. Of course that woman likes me. Of course this woman right here who I want to get her number, of course she likes me. He understands this, and because he understands this and he carries himself with that mentality, he has such a nonchalant attitude. And even when he does really care about a woman and he gets rejected by her, he immediately snaps out of it. He's not down for too long because he understands the value he brings to the table. Not only that, his mindset is the most important thing. He knows deep down that every single girl that he approaches or every single girl he talks to is going to like him. Again, like I said, even though it is not the case, that's how he carries himself. Compare that with how the low value man and the man who has such a scarcity mindset carries himself. The man with a scarcity mindset can't even think that way. He can't even fathom thinking that way. He has such a scarce and limited mindset that girl at work, which was Mike's example, when he first saw her, he was completely infatuated by her. He started buying her gifts. He started treating her like just a friend. He started confessing his feelings way too early. He started telling her about all his secrets. She started treating him like his emotional tampon. Whenever she's really upset about something and she wants to vent, she just calls him. And so this guy has all his eggs in one basket. He also doesn't think too highly of himself, and because he doesn't think too highly of himself, he believes that this is his only shot. And once this girl, which is his only shot, according to his own beliefs, his limited mindset, once she rejects him, he's devastated. He's devastated, he's down, he stops eating, he stops going to the gym, he stops sleeping properly, and everything just goes to shit. You see, man, if I'm being completely honest, I truthfully carry myself with the belief and mentality that every single woman that I'm interested in is interested in me, at least at first. Even though, like I said, the second example, even though I said that, I know that's not the case. I know that many women won't like me, but I'm completely okay with that. I understand that I have a lot of value to offer. I understand that any woman will be lucky to be with me. Now you might consider this arrogance and start commenting in the comment section and say, oh no, that's arrogance. You're not supposed to teach people to be arrogant. That's actually not arrogance. That's a very healthy way to carry yourself. If you truthfully believe that you have a lot of value to offer people, you're not going to carry yourself with such a scarce and limited mindset. Instead, every single situation, every single girl, every single opportunity, every single job opportunity that you approach, you're going to approach it with a very confident mindset, a very positive mindset. Of course this person's gonna like me. Of course this boss over here, this potential boss who I'm interviewing with is going to like me. Of course he's going to choose me for the job. Of course this new group of friends are gonna think I'm cool and they're gonna wanna be my friend. Stuff like that. That's how the high value person or high value man thinks. The low value man, again, thinks in terms of scarcity. Every single thing in his life is run this way, not just with women. The interview he gets for a new job, he's so nervous because this is all he has. This is his only shot. His current job sucks, and because he doesn't have much of a choice, and because he's putting this job on a pedestal because he doesn't view himself that highly, he's very nervous. He's like, oh, what if I don't take this job? What if this happens? And it shows in his body language. Whenever he meets a new group of friends, he doesn't look them in the eye. He doesn't extend a firm handshake, a firm and friendly handshake. The main difference between these two guys is attitude and belief. The first guy's attitude is always negative. He's always thinking of what could go wrong. The second guy, because he has a very abundant mindset, a very vast mindset, understanding that there are limitless, not limited opportunities, he approaches every single scenario with that same mentality. He knows that any girl can like him. Even though he knows that rejection is part of the process, he still tries his best anyway. And he gets over these things quickly. You see, man, that's why I'm preaching to you always, always, always to work on yourself. Put yourself first when it comes to this specific case. You have to put your personal development first because that's what's going to make you a man of higher quality. Therefore, it's going to allow you to attract the type of woman you want in the first place. The guy from the first example hasn't worked on himself enough, even if he thinks he did. But the second guy, he understands that you have to work on yourself hard enough and for a long enough amount of time to become that man of high value, to become that high achieving man, to become that kind of man where women look at him and they're like, oh, I want to be with a guy like that. That man's successful. That man's going places. That man worked on himself. I respect that man. That's the kind of man that you want to be. And see, man, this also requires a degree of humility. If you understand that rejection is just part of the process, you will take rejection with a grain of salt, and at the same time, you will welcome it openly with open arms. You'll understand that this is like a challenge to you, and even if you fail, that's okay. You're failing your way to success. The man with the scarcity mindset and the limited mindset doesn't think this way. So like every failure to him is like the end of the world. He starts becoming a victim and says, oh, why me, God? Why does this always happen to me? How come these things keep happening to me? I didn't do anything, I swear. Yeah, and then this man gets devastated and he goes in his depressive stages. And if you really think about this, it's kind of pathetic if you ask me. Of course people go through stuff in life, of course people fail, but at the same time, when you're putting such an emphasis and you're letting your emotions dictate your reality, and instead of facing the hard truth of life that you have to become a high value man in order to attract a high value woman, instead of that, when you're sitting there devastating and wallowing in your sorrows and feeling sorry for yourself, that's not really going to change anything. So I hope you take this advice positively and then start asking yourself this question and answer yourself honestly. Which type of guy are you? The first guy who thinks in terms of scarcity and limitation and takes rejection personally and gets devastated by those small failures or losses? Or do you think in terms of abundance and limitlessness and take rejection as a stepping stone to success and understanding that this is not personal? I'll let you be the judge.